time here on Nashua ETV. I'm Tom King along with Rich McDonough. Today it is going to be the Bishop Guertin girls against the Nashua South girls in the lacrosse quarterfinals in Division 1. And Rich McDonough here at Stellos Stadium. Soggy Stellos, but it's not raining right now. The rain and blue skies in the distance. It has, now it's all starting to clear, the morning monsoon that we had. We did this game, Rich McDonough, at
a little
the
over
end
a month
of April.
ago.
right. Just, I think it was about a month ago today.
Yeah.
And it did not bode well for Nashua South. They got off to a slow start. Bishop Guertin just went right on the attack, no pun intended. And
made a little run, but it didn't help.
Yeah, right, exactly. So today I would kind of expect the same thing. I would expect South maybe to do what they tried last year, and we talked about it in that game too. Try to stall as much as they can, hold the ball to keep BG from being able to score. But of course, South's got some scorers too, and Zachary, Donald, a few of the other players.
Zdanovic, yeah.
This Guertin team is playing pretty well right now.
They're loaded at every position, Tom. There are no weaknesses at any one area, and that makes it tough to game plan as an old coach myself. But, you know, pick your poison. Nashua South has been playing really solidly down the stretch, and they won 3 in a row to finish up at 11-7 and 6th place in D1. But when you look at it, all but one of their wins, Tom, are in solid double digits. All of their losses are when they score single digits. So how does Coach McIntyre plan the game? I think it's very similar, as you said. But unlike the last time, they can't have any turnovers.
Right.
They can't allow BG to get into some of that nasty offensive rhythm. They're capable of easier said than done.
Right, exactly.
And they've got to keep the flags down and not give them so many free possessions.
Unfortunately, this game is all about score, and Nashua South, that's their game as well, and Guertin is just a little bit better at it during the regular season than South is, so they're going to have a problem. Possession, again, 10/10 of the law.
Yeah, 10/10 of this sport, yeah.
Yep.
And here's numero uno on my keys. Can they get a decent split on the draw at the draw circle? That's easier said than done against a talented team like BG, who has 3 players who can get it done.
And there's some players that South is going to say goodbye to at the end of this tournament.
Right.
You know, that they're going to graduate. This is senior
Ben Zachary
team.
is a great player.
O'Donnell, the whole crew. I mean, they're so
Curly.
They're going to have to, and they spread out the scoring pretty well this year. I think it was a little bit better than it was last year when Ben Zachary dominated the scoring. Problem is defensively. That's the key, right? You've got to be able to keep Guertin off the board, and I think the way to do it is to just kind of slow it down.
Well, bright spot defensively overall for the Purple Panthers is the freshman, Karina Santana, who I believe you said her father was a terrific athlete, right?
Yep.
Freshman starting all year long, and we saw her play some really good ball in game 1, Tom. But this is what they want. They want to chew some clock, get a few looks, back it out, and there you go.
There's the turnover.
Pause turnover, but it's very good.
It's a forced turnover, so that's exactly what you want to see.
But Bishop Guertin has excellent defenders in addition to offensive and midi players, you name it.
Goodness.
And carrying the ball with some speed right there is Abby Lynn. Real good sophomore. Lots of good sophomores at Bishop Guertin this year, both on the boys' team and this girls' team.
Kira Walsh, a very good goaltender, and a turnover.
Nice job by O'Donnell to step into that pass, but she gets caught from behind. Terrific riding team. Look how aggressive they are.
Double teamed.
Great chop down by Cam Schmidt.
And right to the ground with no call.
Cam Schmidt's parents are sitting right in front of us as she makes a good play. Father Dave is a Fairfield Stag, like I am, and Cameron, I believe, is going to Bucknell.
Didn't get the Fairfield discount?
No Fairfield discounts. Not yet. All right, they're getting into they're taking a good look, get a long look, get your spaghetti weave if you got one to get into some rhythm, bang it around. See how Nashua is going to play you here. Good switch off there as Schmidt goes right down the slot. Schmidt, bada bing, bada boom.
Yeah.
That didn't take long for Cam Schmidt, the Bucknell-bound senior. And at 9:38, it's 1-0 BG. Once she decided to put that jab step after kind of trickling across the top underneath the restraining line, Tom.
Can't let them get that close.
That first step by Schmitty was excellent.
Can't let them get that close.
And no chance for an excellent goaltender in Kira Walsh, who's going to play at Plymouth State herself.
But it will all come down a lot to the draw. That is the key stat in any lacrosse game.
Don't have the ball, you can't do anything with it.
Right. 10/10.
And then, the same respect, Tom, is possession. When you get in tight like you did last time on that offensive position, sometimes you just got to back it out and start over.
Start over, right.
Better
exactly.
we have it than they have it.
Oh, I saw O'Donnell, though. She had a run in her, a clear path, and she decided not to take it because they want to chew up the clock. They want to keep BG, away from the ball and possess the ball for as long as they can. And I don't know, maybe you gotta take your chances early and, then stall a little bit. I don't know.
That's why I said pick your poison. That's why I said pick your poison.
And last year against Bedford, they outpossessed Bedford in terms of time of possession. They just didn't get any shots off.
Yeah, it was what, 13-0?
Yeah.
You and I did that game.
Yes, and they didn't get any shots off. And there's a turnover.
All right, you can't charge through a stick. If your opponent is properly defending you, which means a properly held stick, you can't run through it. You have to give the defender a chance to legally check your stick. Correct.
Yep.
I hope people who are watching this game got a chance to see some of the women's D1 action this past weekend. It was nuts. It was just terrific.
Boston College, right?
What a comeback. And then save of the century in the closing 5 or 6 minutes there. And I'm a goalie, so you got to love seeing that. And BG, you can see they got him pulled way out. They're running a weave underneath, and that just opens up room for the goalie, and then she ascends over the goal line extended. And Tom, we've tried to paint the picture we call goal line extended.
And let's see, who was
GLE.
Who was that?
The BG numbers are so small that it was hard to see. Somebody wearing a 2.
25.
It's number 25, Mariella Tomasello, a junior. And I got help from the crowd out there. I got Dave Schmidt as my spotter today. He had LASIK and I didn't. All right, we're at 8:10 and counting. It's 2-0 here at Stellos Stadium, Mata Field. Rich McDonough and Tom King.
Pete Johnson, our executive producer.
Absolutely.
And Tim O'Neill on camera. Oh, Michaela Savage.
Michaela's here.
Right.
Oh, very nice.
Right. College is out, right?
Right.
Right.
I wonder if it wasn't out for my son all 4 years at RIT. He got commissioned last week, Tom.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah, he's an Air Force officer.
Wow, congratulations.
Yeah, it was a very moving ceremony. But very moving is the way BG offense is moving. They move without the ball, something fierce. Real good coaching here from Callie Santos with Leslie Weiss still in the program as an assistant.
Yes.
Along with Jamie Jutras. And that's just lacrosse excellent royalty / DNA on your sidelines. That's pretty darn good.
And now Redford, she gets it, not Redford, but Schmidt gets it back. Turns it over,
good knockdown. That was an
excellent
knockdown work by Nevea Eppolito,
Tell
junior.
you what, though, Bishop Guertin needs to take against another level up. If they go into the semis, the way they're playing early in this game, Rich McDonough, in my mind, they need to take a little bit better care of the ball.
I'm with you.
They've turned it over a couple of times here. They've gotten it right back, but you turn it over against Bedford, you're not going to get it back.
Well, they're coming off the last game of the season. They lost out of town to, I think it was...
all their losses have been won by one goal, except for the one against the powerhouse of New England, which is Notre Dame and Hingham.
Notre Dame, Hingham, and they lost to Portsmouth. I forget what the spread was there. Taking it and making it was Redfern, but it's no goal. She got her toenails across.
Yep. So she'll get she'll get a restart, but free possession. But
all right, and this is her spot. She's got that awesome first step. Look at that. Nobody's catching that left hand. Bang.
Anyway, right? So.
All right, Redfern makes it 3-0 at the 6:15 mark. BG came in number 2 in the poll that we do, and number 3 in the standings. They were 14-3 overall.
Poll matters not, Rich McDonough. I hate to tell you, the poll doesn't mean a darn thing. What means everything is where they are seated and who they will play if they can advance here. And they are seated number 3, and they are destined, if they win this, to play most likely, Bedford.
Bedford.
Which is number 2. And that'll be at 4 o'clock on Saturday at Exeter High School, Stellos Stadium.
Well, that would be one for the ages, at least on paper. BG won the first tilt. All right, back to the face-off dot we go.
Look at
this
that.
is Dumont, Lola Dumont. What a first year she's having, huh?
What a great reach to get that in a foul. It's going to be...
She's got all the athleticism and the guts of her older brothers who,
who
both
were
All-Americans,
yes. Yep.
both headed D1. But she's had a wonderful freshman year. Great feed, catches it loaded, can't convert, was Abby Lynn, nothing doing. And it bounces into Walsh's cross.
That's a nice save by Walsh.
Yeah, she just stood tall, didn't get fidgety feet. She's experienced, only a junior. They get her back. That's huge.
She's been good for them this year, really good.
Yeah, and she got honorable mention All-State last year, so something's going right at that position. And I've been watching. Her footwork is good. She doesn't get the yips.
In all of South's stick sports that McIntyre coaches, field hockey and lacrosse, they have always had good goaltending.
Good goaltending, yeah. Tough kids.
But, I like this. She's kind of taking her time, but she turned it over. She took a long time waiting for someone to get open.
Well, one thing that you can say, one thing was happening, one thing that was not happening is South was not going to hunt the ball.
They weren't, no.
They were kind of laying back.
But right now, they turn it over, and BG's got it again with a chance to go up 4.
I'm going to tell you right now, Schmidt came to play today. Look, she took a nice hit and kept going.
She'll go right through the line. She's not afraid. But I'll tell you what, the one game where people were getting hammered and hacked was the Pinkerton game. I was having nightmares. I was scared. I mean, those sticks were flying.
All right, and Schmidt gets her second of the game, 4:32 mark, and she makes it 4-zip. She got us going. And good old number 14, as I said, Bucknell bound, shows that she's got game up and down the field.
And it is now a 4-0 lead.
And not where you want to be if you're Kiki McIntyre. Again, hard to put big numbers up on this suffocating BG defense, but you also don't want to give them way too many free starts. Already they have 2 of them, 2 goals. They're 2 for 2 on free possessions.
That's correct.
And BG is winning, for the most part, the face-off battle. So you can't turn it over. You got to get some shots, and you got to get the stick into the offensive zone. Get the ball into the offensive zone. And here comes Dumont one more time. Freshman's real good. She gets it out and long, gets the upstairs. Coming up with it for BG is Abby Lynn. She carries it wide, looking to set things up. Gets it below GLE. That's that extended line that goes from pole to pole and out to infinity, essentially, or at least the sidelines. GLE, they call it goal line extended. Oh, that's a good check. That is a really, really good check there by that's Bryn Teft. I liked her game last time we played. We saw them play.
Good skier.
I'll take your word for it. I haven't seen her skier.
Good skier. She was our Telegraph Skier of the Year, not this past year, but a year ago.
All right. Well, that means she's got strong legs and can run all day.
That's right.
And also means you're not going to force her into space. And that also means she's probably got a bit of a screw loose up there. So you like her on defense. Here comes Schmidt again, looking for the pick. A little bit of a 2-man game. She cuts underneath, and a big head fake there, and that draws a whistle.
Yeah, she's not afraid to get into that mix, right? She's not. I mean, she did it against Pinkerton, and that's taking your life in your hands when you do it against the Astros, because they go at you.
All right, and here goes Schmidt looking for a hat trick already. Yeah, that one, it looks like it got rolling in her cross and fanned out of bounds.
And BG will keep possession.
Lola Dumont is going to be awesome in the next 3 seasons. She's awesome now. Oh, catching the big wind up there. Nothing. That's going nowhere. Abby Lynn buries that one.
That was a great escape by Abby Lynn because she was covered like a blanket and she just darted to the right side and fired right away.
Did herself a nice little face dodge as she got to the bottom of the opposite slot, and then a little hitch. There was absolutely no chance for Walsh. 5-zip at the 2:52 mark in the first quarter. Rich McDonough and Tom King here today. It's always fun to do these playoff games, Tom. I don't care what sport it is. Everybody's a little bit more fired up.
Well, the schedule's a little diluted today.
Diluted or diluted?
Diluted.
Okay.
Sorry. Diluted because of the rain. There are a couple baseball games that were wiped out. Merrimack and Bedford there tomorrow at 4. Bishop Guertin at Winnicott. That's tomorrow at Friday at 4.
Gotcha.
And there are a few other games probably around the state. A lot of other games around the state that were wiped out that don't involve locals.
All right, that was a push.
You know, north of here at Concord, it was partly cloudy all day. They had no rain at all. If they had any rain, it was long.
Really?
It was long gone by noontime.
Well, you properly called it. It was a monsoon this morning. I was hoping to get a pasture mode, but no dice.
Yep.
All right, Schmidt gets doubled there and offers her stick out and gets checked away. It hits the carpet and a scrum ensues, picked up by Dumont. She's got a chance to get it across crease, goes down and dives, gets to the slot and takes a right-hand crank low. Mid-hip shot, that went to the low foot, and as opposed to a medium or high foot, I don't know. But Walsh was on the spot, got her blade down, good save. Back come the Cardinals after that turnover, pounding it into the goal right there, Skylar Naftali. And boy, just you blink your eye, and another one goes in the back of the net.
I didn't see who got her the pass, but it was a fabulous pass. It was almost a fast break type goal.
Yeah.
So with 1:55 left, it's.
Well, with that turnover, everybody was kind of upside down. They were off their assignments and their marks.
And Kiki McIntyre's not going to wait. 1:55 to go in the quarter. She's going to put a halt to this for a while.
They need to reestablish. All right, the first possession they had, Tom, they got the face-off after a big scrum, and it went out of bounds far away from our camera view. But then they got it down into the offensive zone, ran a little weave, took a long look, they spun it around, and that was the rhythm that Coach McIntyre kind of needs. Even though they can dump 15
Problem is,
it's not going to happen today.
We're 1:54 left in the quarter, so we are 10:06 in. They don't have a shot yet.
You can't play a slow game and catch up.
No.
But you have to have the ball to play the slow game, and they're getting creamed on turnovers.
That's right. But my guess is today, Tim O'Neill will like this. My guess is today there will be no overtime. So Tim O'Neill will be very, very pleased about
All right. Well, I got to get home, finish off dinner.
I'm off to Souhegan, Pinkerton after this. So.
In what discipline?
In this.
They're playing. Oh, they're playing at 5.
They're playing at
That's
5.
Right.
No, actually, it's at 6. Game's at 6. So.
That could be a very, very good game. They were trading. They were 4th and 5th in the polls and the standings.
Like I said,
neck and neck.
I saw Pinkerton here, and they are very tough. Now Souhegan beat them.
Gritty.
Souhegan beat them in Derry. I believe it was in Derry, and then now the game will be here, and that earned Souhegan the home field. They'll have it. See who goes to the semis in the other bracket that is commanded by Portsmouth.
Yeah, they're going to play Londonderry, and you got to like Portsmouth in that game. And then Souhegan Pinkerton. So that's anybody's game.
You figure your final 4 are going to be Portsmouth, Bedford, BG, and then either Souhegan or Pinkerton, right? That's the
you would figure.
That's the wild. But you would figure. But there's upsets that happen. Well, how about the upset Hollis Brookline in girls?
Yeah, against Oyster River Newmarket.
Yeah,
I was back and forth with Coach Haytayan for HB today. And she was a little bummed.
I bet.
Yeah.
I don't blame her. I think she expected a lot more. They would have probably played They would have gone to Wyndham.
She has been in the semis or finals of every tournament she's ever coached.
Yep.
That's tough.
That is.
And she played in a Final Four for UMass.
Yep. No, that was a tough loss for her, for the whole program.
I love Linda Haytayan. She's a darn good coach.
She was the first. She is the mother of Nashua Lacrosse. She was the first Nashua Lacrosse
She sure is.
coach.
And she's my broker.
She got there you go. She got the women's game going. There's a shot and a save.
Yeah, didn't change planes though. It was a wonderful drive by Uzdanovich, the good senior, really good senior.
So you figure maybe bounce it low, right?
Change planes. Go from high to low, get off hip. I'm a goalie. It's harder to read, and especially if there's any wetness in the turf, it'll pick up speed. It'll skip. We saw that in the men's final the other day. It was nuts. And it's really hard to read, even on turf. All right, got a little obstruction there. That's going to come back to the 8-meter. The girls will set it up, and I can't get a read on that number. It's either 20, maybe Ava Card, and she has those long, powerful steps, and it's going in the back of the goal. It was Naftali. She gets it done again. Boy, she's a good player. I like Naftali. A lot of these girls who are playing for BG are commits to a lot of places. I mean, you look up and down the roster. Somebody's going to Bucknell, Limestone, Villanova, Muhlenberg, Quinnipiac. 3 on the other side, 3 girls for Coach McIntyre wearing purple are going to UNH, New Haven, which was excellent.
Yeah, where's Ben
in
Zachary
D2?
Where's Ben Zachary headed?
Ben Zachary is going to Stony Brook.
And she's going to play this sport, I take it, right?
Yeah,
She played field hockey.
and just a really good tradition out in the island there. Seawolves are good.
How about Adelphi? They won the
Adelphi won the men's.
The men's D2, right?
Yeah, my old buddy Gordy Purdy is coaching the Adelphi Panthers. I played against him in college and had a reunion with him last year. Great
Here's
guy.
a break for South, and Zachary's holding up. They're going to set it up. They could use a goal, boy.
Yeah, and that was wise.
Yeah, well, there's 18 seconds left, so they're going to hold for the last shot.
Yep, you got to milk every second.
They do everything right. BG will not touch the ball.
Get at least a good look here. And by forcing it into
and
the hole, it doesn't
they
work.
got to shoot it now. They've got to shoot it now.
They've got
BG's
to.
defensively is going to do it. They won't get the shot off.
Well, Morgan
That's the
Zdanovich
problem.
was waiting for it,
Yep.
and she needed to take a lunge. Just try it and get the stick wrapped around if you can.
One shot for South here in the first quarter. It's a 7-0 game in favor of Bishop Guertin. Rich McDonough, you have the sole possession
Oh boy.
of the second quarter. I'm going to be down there with the old camera.
Well, you know what that means, everybody, is once Tom King exits the cover of the clubhouse up here, of the box, it will start raining again. Right? Seems like it always happens that way. All right, and the girls are taking a break. We're going to do the same, and we will see you on the other side. Thanks for joining us, everybody. And welcome back, everybody, to Stellos Stadium, Mata Field. Rich McDonough here for Nashua ETV. My partner in the booth, Tom King, is down on the field doing some extra curricular and some recon for the Telegraph. No doubt he takes all the pictures, writes all the articles. Here with Nashua ETV presenting Division I Girls Lacrosse playoff action. The third-seeded Bishop Guertin's emerged from the first quarter up 7-0 after Nashua got the first possession, and BG's athleticism took over, their pinpoint passing took over, and then on the strength of goals from Skylar Naftali, who had 2, and Cameron Schmidt, who had 2 in that first quarter, among others, and Schmidt got him going, and here we are, 12-0. Vital, important play is the face-off circle here. The girls got to try to get it away from Lola Dumont, the excellent freshman for the Cardinals, and maybe create some sort of 50-50 ball. Get the ball on the dirt and get some athletes pursuing it. Get low, use your body to shield off an approaching ground ball player as well, and get it out and get it to green or get it to space. That's the only way you're going to get some possession here, and you have to fight for it. I used to drill the kids when I was coaching all levels of lacrosse, and we do 10 seconds of war drills because it can be a war. And whoever emerges gets the ball. And there we go. Here comes the questionable ball. It was 50-50 for a moment, and the scrum and the chase are on, and coming out with it is the very athletic Ariana Kuchalakos, and she gets downfield. She herself is headed for Elon College in North Carolina. She's going to have great opportunities down there to play ball and get an excellent education. But after all the jabbing and the poking and ground ball attempts, it's BG on offense and a 7-0 lead as we are in the second quarter. the winner to face the winner of the Bedford-Exeter game, which takes place at 5 o'clock today. And that's at Bedford, Bedford being the higher seed at number 2 seed. Good long run by the terrific athlete there, Nevaeh Ippolito. She had a good scoring look earlier in the game. Couldn't convert, only 1 shot on goal in that quarter for the Purple Panthers from Nashua South. But they get into some settled offense here, and sometimes it's just what the doctor ordered. Get a spin, which means getting it around the perimeter, either direction or both, and get into some sort of rhythm. Like basketball, lacrosse is very much a rhythm game. You get into some rhythm, you feel good about it, and it builds a little mojo. Mini wins. And then if you can get a goal, it's still only 7-1, and you feel like you can get a goal. But you got to play defense, and you got to get draw control. The flip side of that, if you flip the script there, is now you've gone into a slowdown game, and you're still down 7-0 against an excellent defense and against a real good goalie in Maddie Adair-Lindell, who's committed to Sacred Heart down in the old Fairfield County and Fairfield the town. All right, and here with the free possession is Zdanovich, excellent player. Has to get it in, good defense, but a backhand shot, and Adair-Lindell is right there to hoover that one up. Nice job, she was patient in the cage and waited for the shooter to commit, and then match sticks, match feet, and it was an easy snuff. Nice job, nice goaltending. All your goaltending 101 elements are in there. I have played goalie since 1980. Occasionally still do play it. That's a long stretch. Coached a lot of real good goalies in my day, but I like seeing Adair-Lindell's footwork there. Well done. All right, now it's BG's turn to get it out and get some rhythm, banging around the offense and spin it. And get it down behind to Sarah Brunell. She does dual duties. It's a nice feed, nice feed. Unable to convert that there was Lauren Redfern, who's staring right at her. She maintains ball control, gets down to the top, gets up and then down to the top and the bottom of the slot. And she fires one in past the good goaltender of Kira Walsh. And at 9:02 here at Stellos Stadium, it is 8-0 and counting for the Bishop Guertin Cardinals. They have been in the top 5 in just about every coach's poll. I think every coach's poll this week. Contrary to what Tom says, it does matter a little, but it helps us monitor who is strong, who's having good trends, who's on the bad end of some trends as well. And it gets us a long look at every team out there. Some really good D2 teams are in the top 10, including Wyndham and Winnicott, who look really hard to beat in the D2 finals. I'll be on the call for the D2 semis this weekend, and then the finals next Tuesday night right here at Stellos for the NHFS network with my buddy Steve Cody, who's right next to us up here in the booth, our highlights guy and all-around good man. Love having all these good people work on New Hampshire sports, trying to give you a nice product in our small state. All right, carrying it down the field, we talked about her a little earlier, a couple times, Nevaeh Ippolito, real good athlete. She's a junior, splits time at D and mid, running mostly mid today. They need her IQ, does Coach McIntyre, to really level up the offense, the psyche. They're gonna keep the ball way outside in between the 15-yard line and that 30. You see that hashed line, that's called the restraining line in lacrosse. The blue and white hashed line there. And that's 30 yards out from the goal line. And trying to jam it inside. There's another pickoff by Cameron Schmidt. We've called her name multiple times today. Nice pass out by Abby Lynn, who's her wingman right there. Abby attacking the top of the slot, draws two, fights through it, can't get rid of it, and she pops it right behind. A little bit of, controlled wannabe invert, but not really, because we have attackers behind in the shape of Sarah Brunell. She's listed as an attack midi, but she's been playing midi back there, attack back there today. All right, here comes that. Look at the jam up inside and taking advantage of it. Splitting every screen in the book is Lola Dumont, and she fights right through that picket fence, if you will, and at 7:31, Dumont's goal makes it 9-0. And we had mentioned earlier that Dumont is the little sister of Brady and Alex Dumont, who are seniors on the Bishop Guertin three-time defending boys championship teams. They're both headed to Division I schools, prominent, Villanova and Loyola, respectively. And the DNA in the Dumont household for this game, this beautiful game we love called lacrosse, is profound. And they take care of this game a lot. They're good ambassadors for it. The whole family is. All right, 9-0 and counting. Bishop Guertin's sideline looks pretty relaxed, as they should be. Hasn't taken long for them to get up to almost a double-digit lead. This is an important draw here. And coming up with a nice job out there, never giving up. She never does, is Benzekri. Father's an assistant coach to Coach McIntyre here, along with John Bourgeois. Good communication as Benzekri gets off the field and gets a sub in. And looking to create there is Zdanovic. And back on the field comes Benzekri. She got a stick change. One from her face-off circle stick to now more of an attacking stick. And she's got to do something with it sooner rather than later. Bishop Guertin's pushing out now. Nice first step defense right there by BG. That's number 6, Jordan Gable. And finally they get an inside, get a good look. That's outside the cage and goes behind. Stays with purple though, and they're gonna try to look to create as the clock winds down to an even 6:30. And trying to feed, not able to corral that pass inside was Maddie Manalewski. And it hits the dirt. Panthers coming up with the ground balls at this point. They need that like you've been in the desert and need a glass of I almost said wine, of water. Take either if you're hurting. Okay, backing it out smartly was O'Donnell. Last time she tried to force it in, she got stick checked and down to the turf it went for a turnover. Excellent, excellent defense. Excellent communication. Then a big windup and getting down low is Adair Linnell. That one ricochets out, and the Sacred Heart goaltender prospect is making another real good save. She's getting her stick down real low and in real quick fashion. And what it means is she's reading the ball very well, even though that shot came from real and tight from Marin Lowell, who's a great offensive player. And matching her is Neve Apolito. I keep calling her name, and she got herself a goal. She's a good player. I love watching her play. She's both ends of the field. She makes people cause turnovers, and now she can get herself a good-looking goal with that. She kind of just wrapped around and got her stick sideways and went low to low or mid to low. And finally, 5:30 left on the clock after a long, long possession by the Purple Panthers. They got on the goal, and it's now 9-1 for the home field. They all share this field, do the Titans and the Panthers and the Cardinals. But the girls in white are the home team, higher seed. All right, and it's 9-1, like we said, 5:30 to go in the first half. Rich McDonough solo at the moment. Tom King will be back up sometime during or after half to join us. And that was a good ground ball, way to back it out by Kukulakos. And she walks the dog. That means carry it horizontally out in front of you without cradling. Just allows you to get some speed and some length in your strides and get it away from trail checks if possible. All right, and Coach Santos barking out the orders for the offense. They've got 2 behind. A good feed up to, finds its way through. Redfern collects it. Somebody blocked that shot, ate it up inside. Good job coming up with it is O'Donnell. Very reliable player. And she backs it out, goes through Walsh, the goalie, who can see the entire field. And they're going to leave Walsh open. That was their decision earlier, and it caused a turnover. Now somebody hunts the ball. I made that point to Tom King. Somebody went to all that green space in front of Walsh, gave her a target. Now they inside out and down the sidelines they go. That is the way to break an all-hands-on-deck press when you leave the goalie open. And she seemed just a little unsure. What do? You help by going to space. We say the same thing about wide receivers who curl back to the quarterback and make themselves available. All right, we got another possession for the Panthers. They need it like you read about. Setting up a little pick away. A little bit of a two-man game right there. Nothing happening. And they're pinch. If you look at the defense, when we have a ball carrier trying to thread inside, Bishop Guertin is hedging. That means they're coming off their mark and at least showing that they are going to play some defense. And here they come again. That was a true double. Force an early bounce shot, which Walsh with Adair Linnell read beautifully. Got up underneath it, and it's in her cross, and we got a stoppage on the field at 3:32. And again, 9-1 BG, and it does get turned over. I think, couldn't read it, too much glare. Might have been somebody running through the stick. We talked about that earlier. All right, that's a good step through by a very good athlete, Corinna O'Donnell. And she's one of the 3 New Haven commits on this team. So they're going over to the NE10 right there, where they're going to see the likes of Pace, who were awesome this year. St. Anselm, I tell you, that's a good conference where you can play ball and get an excellent education. All right, a very deliberate as we get under 3 minutes. We're at 2:50 and counting. Good feed inside, sort of, but it was too much of a crowd scene. There's no way that O'Donnell's going to handle that and that kind of defensive traffic. And back to BG it goes. And quick restart means if they're ready to go. You blow the whistle and let them run. No more waiting forever to everybody get set up. Don't want to use a quick whistle or a slow whistle at that point anymore to allow a team to set up defense. That's creating an unnecessary advantage, and it's working out well. Keeps the game faster and truer. All right, and banging it behind go the BG Cardinals. Working her way back through Brunel. She gets it out to the sideline, the near sideline where Tim O'Neill is doing our camera work today, and there's Cam Schmidt. She gives, she goes, she picks away, or picks her pass target, and then we get a switch out top. We'll see what kind of things BG, yeah, there's the cut and pass away, and a real good save by Kira Walsh on stick side low, and she also got her kick save leg out there. Didn't need it, but that's good goaltending. And that was good offense. And Walsh is waiting for her clearing team to get into rhythm. They want to go inside out one more time. They do have somebody open right side. Yep, and they pick her up. Good job there by reading it by Uzdanovic. She drew the double, knowing that her wing to her right was going to be open. She crept upfield and kind of ran herself open into a position where there was plenty of free space, and only she was going to get that ball. We're drifting down toward a minute. There's a minute 10 on the clock right now as North gets another settled possession, and they want to use as much of this time as possible, but that's not going to work. Dropping it down to the dirt, and we got interference there, and we got a yellow card coming out. Couldn't see who she called that on. And that's our first of the game. She'll come off. That's number 3, Marin Lowell, junior midi, and she takes herself right to the box, and that'll be a 2-minute serve, and it'll carry over if there is no goal. All right, but determined not to is Skylar Naftali. She had 2 goals earlier. Gets it down to Redford behind, who bangs it through Brunel. Brunel puts it out to the left side wing, where Dumont gives it off there to Lynn, and they're playing catch and recover right now. At will are the Cardinals. Just eating up some clock, and it's 25 left. And they are executing this last-minute offense to perfection. The nice pass inside, great catch on the run by Kukulakis, and she makes it 10-1 with 18.3 on the clock. Textbook offense there by the BG Cardinals. Use as much time as you can, but do not dismiss a wide-open opportunity from high-scoring zone at either island, and it's exactly how it worked. It's just a matter of time with that weave, the picks, and then the pinpoint passing that I mentioned earlier. And it's a demolition in process here at Stellos Stadium in our final playoff game. Again, the winner is going to take on the winner of Bedford and Exeter, which is being played later today at 5 p.m. start, at least on paper. They keep shuffling the deck here. But on paper, that's a bed that you like Bedford. They're defending champs for good reason, and they've been really strong all season again. Portsmouth, BG, Bedford, Souhegan, Pinkerton, South, kind of all the talk of the league. Great handle. Redfern gets it in her left, taking a cross offense pass, really from slot to slot, and she's down at her knee, catches it loaded, pulls the trigger, and in the back of the net, Redford finishes up the scoring, and that finishes up the first half for us. Rich McDonough and Tom King on the call today for Nashua ETV. They got an 8-minute break, and we're going to do the same, and we'll see you on the other side. We're happy you joined us, folks. All right, folks, welcome back from halftime, everybody. Here we are at Stellos Stadium, Mata Field, as Nashua ETV is presenting girls Division I New Hampshire NHIAA playoff action. Hosting are the 3-seed Bishop Guertin Cardinals, and not really a visiting field, but visiting colors for Nashua South Panthers, and really a dominant first half by the Bishop Guertin Cardinals, and consequently they had an 11-1 lead. They were winning most draw controls. They had the spacing beautifully. They were accurate passing. And then Adair Linnell in cage for the Cardinals had about 3 or 4 really dynamite saves.
Totally different second quarter. I mean, Guertin still, had the scoring edge and everything else, but, you had to look to you had to look the other way a few times, right? South had the ball.
Well, yeah, they had
a lot of possessions,
and then they got a bunch of ground balls. Even when BG was able to play some stifling defense and get the ball to the carpet, Panthers were coming up with them.
Right,
and they got a lot of possession. Consequently,
right,
via Nevea Eppolito, they got their one goal.
You know what I just did?
What'd you just
McDonough? do? I may have made my last trip up the bleachers for this season.
For the season?
For the school year. That might have been my last trip up to Stellos Stadium bleachers, because D2 we don't have any teams, and that's in the area, and that's what's here over the weekend.
Right.
And I probably won't. I mean, we're not doing the BG game. I don't think on Saturday. So
we can just do some stairs for fun on Sunday.
That's okay.
Yeah. I'm trying to get back in shape.
I'll be doing those too at Holman Stadium where the Silver Knights play. So, but this is it's probably been the last trip up.
All right. Great half, even though we don't have anything on the board for Ella Benzekri. She's just kind of the glue, Tom, that holds a lot of anything.
She is. She takes draws and everything else.
Steps in front of passes for turnovers. Just a really good player.
Yeah. 200 career scorer.
Yeah, and 300 draw controls.
Right.
Which is titanic.
I think Walsh has hit the 100 mark for saves.
Well, and then for Benzekri, add to her 200 goals, 92 assists.
Wow.
I mean, she's prolific.
She's 8 away from 100, but I don't think that's going to happen today, unfortunately.
Not in the cards, but anything can change. All right, we got numbers for BG. It's a 4-on-3 developing. Real nice stick. Second time in the game she's done it, Bryn Teft. and knock down potential scoring opportunity. Good job by Teft, whose game I really like.
It's become a different day out there, Rich McDonough. Thursday rain turned into Thursday beautiful day.
Might be able to get a pasture mode before sunset. All right, BG looking to create from behind, as I've mentioned all game. Sarah Brunel's back there, deadly passer and a strong athlete. And putting it back in her left is Cam Schmidt. Nothing doing there. Good defense. Way to ride her out
And
of
a
bounds.
good pickup by Schmidt after she dropped it.
Yeah, as Danovich plays good defense, and even as talented an athlete as Schmidt is, it was Danovich's game. Nice job carrying the ball by the terrific sophomore Abby Lynn. Backs it out and fires it behind the goal. Looking for a cross pass coming in. Schmidt can't handle it. Down to the dirt it goes. And the scrum ensues. Coming out with it is second or third time today Neftali has picked up a tough ground ball and got him back into the rhythm. Good job by Neftali. And she had a couple goals in that first half. Good defense. Patient offense by Kukalakis. Finally gets it over and out to Schmidt. Schmidt gets it to Lynn.
Well, South's making BG work for it, that's for sure.
They sure are. They sure are. They've got everybody pushed out, and that creates gaps. I was about to say, feed the gap, and there you go.
Feed the gap, feed the score. I didn't see the number.
Yeah, I think it was, I want to say it was Lynn.
Abby Lynn.
Number 3. She was playing out there on the wing, and as soon as they pushed out, looking to almost kind of shut off the adjacent pass, she went underneath it, caught a nice little dagger pass close. Only a 3-yard pass, but it was so accurate, and there was nothing left to do, and there was nobody within sliding range. Easy bucket.
All right, Rich McDonough, you see what they're doing today with BG. What do you like the most, and what don't you like in this game? From BG's standpoint. A lot of positives, obviously, but what's the best one, and then what's the thing that you think that they may need to just step it up a notch when they play in the semifinals? If that remains.
As I said at the beginning of our broadcast here, they don't have any weaknesses. And the top 3 teams in girls D1 have almost no weaknesses. Maybe one thing anybody could exploit for BG is communication. But they're seasoned.
Yeah, they are.
You know?
They seem to all know where each other are. I don't
know. That on the one goal they gave up, it's just a little quick breakdown, and Eppolito is able to. She's going to Bard. She's IQ is excellent, and she's just able to take advantage and squeak right underneath there. That happens when you're ball watching, and maybe not talking enough. But as you see, they squeeze ball carriers rapidly, and then.
But you know what? That's good, though, that Edna Linnell has gotten a little bit of more work in the second quarter, and she just makes the save there because she's going to see a lot of shots in the semis.
Well, yeah.
Much more than she's seen here today, but she's...
And she's going D1 for a reason. What I'm seeing out of her...
look at this, right on
that's
top.
That's a great job by Walsh. Absolutely thwarting the really wide-open look from Tomasello.
Yeah, big save.
And we've said that was just not enough air on that pass.
Nope.
Big, easy interception there for Skylar Neftali. She gets either her 3rd or 4th of today, but she does have a half-trick minimum.
Neftali having a good day.
13-1 now, and it will go to running score. Second half, 12-goal lead. Running time, excuse me. And running score if you're BG as well. So I think BG's one glitch there was that they were kind of ball watching and not talking through the cutters and the weave that South had put on there. And, that was a long possession, and you can be lulled into sleep, Tom, at times, especially when you're up 9-0 as it was at that point. All right, back to the dot. Our old friends, Benzekri and Lola Dumont, the excellent freshman, wearing number 1 for BG. Ella gets that loose and gets it outside to the wing. Only question is, and she does pick it up, is Marin Lowell. Good job.
Ooh.
Too much contact from behind.
Yeah.
Illegal check. And quick restart. You got to get it going right away. Good job getting it over to O'Donnell. Trusty person with that ball. You want her to handle it. Draw 2 and then give it and go. Right there. Bang zoom.
There it is.
Could see that coming, Tom. She draws 2. after making that jab step to her right,
And that looked
allowing
like
her picker to slide away.
Eppolito again, I believe, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. That'll be
2 for her on the day. Both goals.
That was just a really well executed piece of offense.
Very
there.
fast. The fastest they've played all day. Fastest they've played. 13-2 the score.
So that's just nice offense. A lot of teams do it now. It's an art and a science. Is you run a little 2-man, 2-woman game. You get a pick and a slip away from the pick quickly because you're going to create a lot of space at the top of the slot and down. And that was just perfect execution.
And there was a lot of space for her right there. A good pass, good give and go.
But
and the teamwork worked out for
Kuchalakos comes and picks it up and back on possession of the Cards. Not a good pass choice. You don't need to force it in tight like that. And you can see working hard is Skylar Naftali after she couldn't snare that pass to the crease, but it was too crowded, too crowded. You want to get it, stay in rhythm if you're BG. You're scoring when you want to. Don't push it, don't force it.
7-0 at the end of the first quarter, Rich McDonough, and South could not afford that kind of a start.
Nope.
Just too big of a hole to climb out of. Too deep.
Well, that first caused turnover when Karina O'Donnell thought she had the open slot and then just got mugged.
Yep.
So here, we're going to try to attack some space. You got
good pressure by Guertin.
The goalie's got to go at it. The goalie's got to go draw somebody.
They've made the transition game very difficult for South. South just needs to, they're beyond the point now where taking time off the clock is their friend. It's not. No. So they've got to run it. They've got to run and just try to get as much as they can on the board.
Well, and finally, Naftali made that. Benzekri made that break, and she got some space and got it all the way down. That is an exhausting clear, and as you made the point, they ate up about a minute
just trying to get the ball out downfield.
Yeah,
can't take that long against this team, because now you have to match goals. Now you've got to.
Yeah, easier said than done.
Right, no, that's exactly it.
Well, and that little pressing ride that BG just did forces, brings you into traps, and adjacent passes are not going to be there. That's why the goalie's got to draw somebody.
Scrum in front. And it turns out to be BG's call.
They got it down to the dirt and pick it up.
They got it.
Yep.
But you know what South has not had in this game? They haven't had, I don't think, any free possessions. I don't think I can remember one.
And Jordan Gable got herself wide open going up the field. Nice job using her to get it over midfield and get into your offense. Give it over to Cameron Schmidt. And then carrying behind is Tomasello. Trusty hands of Brunel.
Not a good pass and a good pickup by South.
Yeah, that's that is making Coach Santos a little bit nutty over there on the sideline.
Those turnovers in the semis will come back to bite you.
You can't do that against Bedford. Can't do that against Portsmouth.
Nope.
They just eat that up for lunch. All right, good carry through. Splits defense, but then a trail check ensues. She didn't like the call, did Marin Lowell, but it was a good trail check right there. But this time, a little bit too much pushing and shoving.
This time, South gets an advantage of the call, and they'll have to take it from the far side.
Body contact foul right there. O'Donnell drawing Kuchalakos. Nice way to go to her left and fires it in a good save. That was a 5-hole save.
The 5th save of the day for Edna Liddell.
And her saves have been, all but one, have been very challenging. She's doing a great job. Why she's going D1, folks. All right, she anchors it behind the cage. Always a good spot because then you get your riding defender hung up. Gets it over to Dumont.
She got great seasoning a year ago.
No doubt.
That was the question mark. Who's going to play goal? How are we going to develop this position? Well, they did a good job with it because they got 2 years out of a good goalie.
And I feel like she got an honorable mention last year. Maybe
I believe she did.
I don't know. Check that out.
Well, she was on the All-Telegraph team, I'll tell you that.
But and deservedly so. Deservedly so. You could see the talent and the fearlessness. I mean, that ball's moving at 60, 70, 75 miles an hour. It's humming. All right, here comes Abby Lynn.
Nope.
Oh, that's a big check right to the ribs right there. I'm surprised they didn't pull a card. Maybe she's going to do so. But at the very least, it's a foul. They call it body contact. I think that was the dictionary definition.
They've kept away from that today, but we'll see. And then Guertin another free possession.
They've got three or four free goals already.
Yeah.
Looking to get another one here is Abby Lynn.
Nice
that one
save.
bounces high and over.
Yep. Bounce, I believe Walsh got a little bit on it.
She got a piece, more power to her. That's good defense.
Yep.
I mean, good. You know, it is defense, but it's excellent goaltending.
And South will get possession.
Yeah, they beat it to the line.
Yeah.
The rule is wear the ball, whoever is closest to the ball.
It when it goes out.
And at the point when it goes out. We used to run for the line, even though you were 30 yards the other direction.
Right. And extend the stick, right? That's the other thing, too. Extend the stick.
Right.
Oh, and another big save.
She gets underneath. Good read, gets under the ball. And Tom, when I was in the cage, I did a 4.5, 5.40. So I used to win a lot of those cheap chases behind the goal, and I can see why they thought it was unfair, you know? Because the ball would be over there, and I'd be over there.
Right.
Anyway, Tom, that was a heck of a quarter for BG again.
Well, the only thing that could stop the clock right now is the end of the quarter. Maybe an injury, but you hope that doesn't happen. The end of a quarter. And we are through 3 here at Stellos Stadium, 13-2 in favor of Bishop Guertin over Nashua South in the Division I quarterfinals. The winner will go to Exeter for a 4 o'clock game Saturday against Bedford and I'm not sure who's Bedford got it.
Yeah, Exeter. Yeah, it's at Bedford, and then.
Yeah, that should be. You never know with upsets, but that should be Bedford's
As
game.
you said, Souhegan's hosting Pinkerton.
That is a toss-up.
It is, and it's been as they played it. I think it was a 1-goal, 15-14 game.
Yep, that's a toss-up. That's going to be the game of the day, really, in terms of evenly matched quarterfinals.
And I think Portsmouth, who has Londonderry after the Lancers beat Dover.
In the prelim.
You got to like Portsmouth on paper for every reason.
Yep.
So, but that's why we play the game. We don't know anything yet because we're the early draw of the day.
Their second year in Division I for the Clippers. They knocked out Guertin last year in the semis.
Yep.
And lost to Bedford in the championship game.
That Portsmouth-Bedford game last year in those semis, that was a heck of a game.
I didn't see it.
It was 14-12.
In the finals?
Yeah, in the semis.
No, the Portsmouth and Bedford didn't play in the semis last year.
No, I meant BG.
BG. That was a good game. BG was...
They had a chance.
They were climbing. They were down early. They climbed. And they climbed back into it.
Yep.
And it came down to the last couple of possessions.
And there was a glimmer or two.
Yes.
And then Portsmouth just stiffened up.
Yep.
And, you knew it was going to be a good game, and it was.
And the one thing I remember about that night and that game and that weekend and the rest of the tournament was it was like late October. it was just not fun weather. I mean, it was raining, it was drizzly, it was cold, and it was that way basically.
It was even cold for the finals. But
it was that way basically. It set the tone for the summer.
Well, you and I kept saying it when we were doing games all the way into May. And then I was doing some college games all over New England, and everywhere we went, it was winter.
Yeah, and now of course, that's always the case, but we've got some decent weather starting right now with what we see.
Knock on wood.
Decent weather all the way through, forecasted all the way through until the middle of next week. So that will be a nice, refreshing change. Saturday will be the Education Day games here on Nashua ETV will be on live, Pete Johnson, I believe. 10:30 in the morning, breakfast with the ETV crew from Holman Stadium. Pete Johnson's going to be buying the donuts for us. And any chance we can get a buffet, Pete? Okay. All right.
I'm an old Maryland boy. I might have to make up a big old cast iron pot of corn pone.
There you go.
There we go.
Yep. 10:30 both days against it's Brockton, I believe. Brockton Rocks. Today's game with the Brockton Rocks and the Silver Knights has been already doused by rain. So that is off. And I was wondering what was going on last night. There was no word of any Silver Knights game. They were scheduled to go to Westfield, but the thing was that game had been moved off the schedule for 2 weeks, and no one said anything.
Well, Zdanovich just took a check in the cheekbone, no call.
Yeah, she's kind of shaking it off right now.
And she's tough as nails.
Yep.
And I never see her complain about anything. So that says,
Unlike me.
that says a lot to me. She got it in the hands of O'Donnell. That's a good trio right out there right now. You got Lowell, O'Donnell, and Uzdanovich. But good defense, good patient defense by the Cards. Trying to get over the top of the pick. Cameron Schmidt can't get there, but then we have body contact foul, courtesy of Jordan Gable, who's a rugged Midian defender. And this is another free possession here. Much needed one with the clock.
This is their first. This
Running
is their first
time
free
we are.
possession of the game.
And look at them close the door instantly.
Oh, wow.
She backs out, throws a
Double
pass
teaming
down.
the ball. Guertin is double teaming the ball in all areas.
Either that or they're hedging. You know, thou shalt not come this way because I will double you.
Yep.
Great pass, great look
And
inside, good catch by Benzekri on the
Yep.
run. No chance for the good goaltender, Adair Linnell.
And that was Benzekri with the goal. Glare was in my
I
eyes.
believe it was, yes.
Yep, and that
Really?
is her first of the game.
It
and
is.
You wonder, as we have running time with 10 minutes left, you wonder if that is the last of her career.
Let's hope not. Let's hope not. As we called out, she came in with 200 goals, 300 draw control wins.
Well,
and
200 plus goals. I don't know exactly.
I mean, this
exact
came
total.
right from Kiki McIntyre, and then 292 career points. I mean, that's just phenomenal. I don't care where you're playing.
Right? Why did they stop the clock?
Well, they got a goalie change.
Goalie change.
Yeah, so coming in, it's Emerson
Still, why did they
Danish.
stop the clock? That's no reason to stop it.
You got dinner on the stove.
No, you got a goalie change. You don't have to stop it for a substitution, do you?
I think when it's dead ball. All right, nevertheless, we go back to the dot, and going back to the dot are Benzekri and Dumont. They've been doing it all game long.
Running time is exactly that. Running time.
It's not Dumont this time, it's Abby Lynn.
Well, you wonder, they've got a lot of players at BG, but they'll probably keep most of their key ones. Kind of
They've got
mix
a lot, yeah.
mix it a little bit because decision's not in any doubt.
You want to get your juniors and softs
unless South can go on an unbelievable barrage.
Yeah, you want to get your juniors and softs some playing time in playoff games when it's appropriate.
Right.
You know, you want to keep your first teams, your first string and your starters and first or second lines in rhythm. And you don't want to cut off your nose to spite your face, but you love having a soft, even a first-year player getting some field time with some of the upper-class players. Nice wrap. Way to get vertical with the stick in a hurry. I believe that was Uzdanovich. And, yeah, it was Uzdanovich.
She's running right to the circle. She's at the 50 right now.
Yeah, one thing she did, which I loved, they said she was stepping in the crease.
Oh, so no goal.
No, that's why she ran back so fast.
That's why she ran back so fast, yep.
Boy, the glare is getting to me over there. But, boy, she got everything but the drop because she put her foot on the line. And I know we saw a lot of that in the NCAA men's tournament with blue field paint, making it tough to read cleats that are stepping on the crease. Oh, great trail check by Uzdanovich there as Cam Schmidt was headed toward the iron.
Yeah, she was.
And she's a great athlete, as Cameron Schmidt. Thus the trip to Bucknell for her. Not to mention the outstanding academics at that school. Great job, though, in return by getting it down by Benzekri and gets it over to O'Donnell, who looks to set up some, good cut there by Ippolito, who's got herself a couple of goals. And Schmidt picks it up. Look at the strides, Tom. She's a terrific runner.
Oh, she is, no doubt about it.
Just like her brother's a terrific running back for the football team at BG. And
She's got a quarterback, the Cardinals this year.
the chase is on. We got some talented rising sophomores, so we'll see. We'll see. They're working out with hitting the weights. Trevor Knight, who's a kind of a quarterback whisperer, was an excellent quarterback himself. Doing some good lessons here. Schmidt gets the ball knocked to the ground after she tries to attack wedge defense
They
there.
better get Knight's lessons while they can because his time is compromised because he's got a big job at him down in Billerica.
I've missed the news on him.
Head coach.
He's head coaching Bill Ricca?
Yep.
That's a good get. Well, they are working together this summer. I've seen some of his TK school, quarterback school
He's still
videos.
his business. He's not going to drop it, but
No, that's good money. It's well spent.
I believe it's Bill Ricca. That's where he is.
Well, he was instrumental to Mike McDonough taking.
Yeah, he got the job in
step up the food
got the
chain.
job in late January.
All right, good for him. He's a good man. Certainly put in his time with the CFL and then assisting on the sidelines.
Yes.
Yep.
Wanted to be a head coach. Went for the Lowell job. First time he had gone for one, I believe, and then didn't get that, but went right to the next one.
Well,
Taking over a program that's really struggled over the last few years. So
he's a fundamentals guy, and that's how you build struggling programs, if you can get the bodies.
right.
All right, Redfern handling the ball. Really good player, can put it in both hands. Same thing with Cam Schmidt. Bangs it out, nothing doing, but good defense. I got to hand it to Audrey Mullaney right there. Very aggressive defense, good footwork on a really good player.
Slips.
Boy, a falling pass and a great stop by Walsh.
You don't wonder if the turf's still slick out there
Could be.
from the rain, you know?
Could be, yeah.
The one thing you don't want to have happen if you're Guertin is you get a free possession here. You don't want to have anyone get hurt in these last 5 minutes of a 10-goal game.
And
Save.
Walsh makes a nice save, really
Save.
poised. Skylar Naftali, who's a good
and a
scorer.
turnover again.
Yeah, and Redfern,
Redfern
she's
picks it up.
always around the ball. Wants her left, but puts it right.
No cutter.
Yeah, it was wide open. Coach
It
wanted
was.
to pump the brakes a bit.
Yeah, I guess so.
I mean, there's no sense. You know, you don't want to roll an ankle at this point. I mean, you're going right back into action on Saturday. That's a good cut, but also, once again, good defense by O'Donnell. She's
Saved
got
by
game
Walsh.
up and down. Yeah, really.
On the low shot, Guertin will retain possession.
And we're winding down to 5 minutes, TK. All right, they got everybody way up top. That makes it easy to get space on the opposite side of the net. They do it. They can't handle it. That's Mendelli just rolls off her cross and down to the turf, and then we'll have a turnover here. 4:48 and counting. We are in running time. The rule is you're up by 12, and it's in the second half. They go to running time, not like the old days where running time would go back to stop time.
All right, they keep it going.
If you get below 12, it's not meant to be
Right.
a method by which a team that's getting crushed can get back in the game.
Right.
It's just to shorten the game, which is mercilessly stacked up against one team.
That's why they call it the mercy rule.
The mercy rule, exactly.
South is playing fairly well here in the second half. I think the first quarter was the decision right there. Guertin went right out there. They took no prisoners.
They weren't going to get in the slow train
Yeah,
game.
they took no prisoners.
No. And, you know, as we discussed, you know, our keys to the game, if you're Guertin, is be yourselves. And who are they? They're fast, accurate passers. They have high IQ, and they cut really well without the ball. And trying to force feed it through traffic. This time coming up with it is Danish. They have some interesting goalie numbers here. Adair Linnell wears 88, and Danish wears 99.
99 or 98? 99, you're right, 99.
I can't see that far anymore, Tom.
it was-
Yeah, it does say 99.
Yep, there you go.
Yeah. Football numbers.
And timeout on the field with 3:31 left. Probably called by, I would say, well, it was BG's possession, so it had to be BG, right?
Yeah. They might want to get some fresh faces
Fresh
in.
faces, get their numbers, their starters out of there, and prep for the semifinals on Saturday, which will be at 4 o'clock at Exeter High School. They'll have the first game. Cardinal teams that are still going. South does not have anyone else except for track athletes playing.
Right.
And they'll be in the Meet of Champions Sunday at the University of New Hampshire.
All right.
Bishop Guertin has baseball and softball and boys lacrosse. Obviously, boys lacrosse will be here Saturday at 1 o'clock.
1
They'll be
o'clock.
playing Concord.
Right.
Baseball was to play today, got washed out at Winnicott. They will be there in the first round at Winnicott in Hampton tomorrow.
What do you think of that matchup?
Much better beach day. I think that's the key, right? So they'll be there. I think that's going to be a very good matchup, almost an even Steven type matchup. Bishop Guertin won there, I believe. I think it was 5-1 or somewhere around there earlier, not too far away, long ago. And then Nashua North, I believe, is at Keene today in baseball. I don't think that was washed out, so they are playing at Keene in baseball.
That's always a tough drive.
The story of the week so far, BG softball, not only did they get a upset win on the road at Timberlane in a game for the ages, it was a 9-inning game, 9-6 Guertin. They also got home field, surprisingly, as an 11th seed. They're going to be able to play the quarters at home. Why? Portsmouth knocked off Concord, number 3.
And we keep saying this is why we play the game.
That's why they play the game.
Yeah.
So Guertin will host that game at 3 o'clock at BG at Elliott Field softball on Saturday as well. So a lot going on.
Tons. I don't think there's going to be any change of fortune or upset here, Tom. 13-3 with 3:15 remaining.
This will go according to script.
And BG now in the old Phil Ford four-corner offense. Just chewing the clock, getting a few handles for some kids who don't get in the game. Anytime you can get any kind of experience, you get a little better long term. And they're running some offense. That's good.
With about 50 seconds left, Rich McDonough, that's when I'll start to head down on the field.
You'll be missed.
So, and that may be my last trip down the stairs at Stellos Stadium for the school season.
All right.
Much easier trip, much more fun.
I bet you get a standing O as you walk out.
Only for the people who are standing ready to walk out.
Okay. All right. So they got to go through their motions here. They got to get the clear.
Someone in the crowd, as I mentioned to somebody coming up the steps, I said, I need an escalator. And then they yelled back, or a different job. And I was like, what, are they trying to tell me something or what?
No, it's keeping your knees young, Tom.
Yeah.
There we go. All right, Mulaney's trying to carry it upfield on the crease, gets mugged. And then an errant pass on the restart there. And picked up by Dumont. Most of the BG starters are still in. I think it probably because Coach
there's a few that are
Santos wants to keep rhythm. Yeah.
Redfern's on the bench.
Haley's in there now. Yeah.
Schmidt, I believe, is out.
But again, you want to play kids who haven't been.
Edner Linnell is out.
Yep. You want to get them to play with a first liner so their game is taken up a notch.
Exactly.
That's how you get deep. And you take some good D by Abby Lynn, wearing 3 for BG. Trying to get through traffic, circle, and can't find anything. Sage Devins didn't get a chance to call her name a whole lot today, even though she's a terrific athlete. Multiple sport athlete. And like her counterpart, Coach McIntyre for the purple here is in no hurry to force any sort of silly issues. Game's over. Ball hits the carpet and out of the goal crease comes Danish, but she can't get there.
Down I go, Rich McDonough.
All right, Tom.
And we will talk to you later on during tournament season.
All right, my man. It's always fun doing games with you. All right, there's a big chuck from behind with possession.
Silver Knights ETV, Tuesday, Wednesday, both days, 10:30. Join us.
Hitting the deck hard there. She carried it up the field with Maddie Matalewski. She's a terrific athlete. Took a big shot from behind. Nothing doing. We are under 20 seconds as TK heads down to the field. Well, it's been a good game, good starting draw for the Bishop Guertin Cardinals, who have all the talent and great coaching to make it to the finals. It's just a question of which buzzsaw we're going to see. Portsmouth, all the top 4 schools, including Pinkerton, top 5, are really talented, and they could make it all the way as well. All right, so your first semifinalist, the Bishop Guertin Cardinals, will head to Bill Ball Stadium for a 4 p.m. start against the winner of either Bedford or Exeter. And boy, this was fun to be here today. Nashua ETV bringing you the best of girls Division I playoff lacrosse for everybody here, including Tim O'Neill, Pete Johnson, our executive director, my wingman, Tom King in the booth. This is Rich McDonough.
Michaela.
Oh, and Michaela.
And
Dan is back at the studios doing slow motion. We're loving it. I can't wait to see it. Anyway, I'm Rich McDonough, and we will see you down the road.